Hello, Cinci Cisco here with part 2 of our welcome video sets. Now in this video I'll be discussing who am I? I'll be introducing myself, giving you a chance to get to know me and my history. This way you know I'm not some schmuck who decided to start a karate YouTube channel and open up a school without being prepared to. Now, the whole reason I'm making this, or one of the major inspirations that I'm making it, is a quote from one of my idols, Neil deGrasse Tyson. This is not an exact quote, but in essence he states that if you must use your certification, your big piece of paper, to prove your point, or to say that you're right, you don't have a good argument. It's your experiences, it's your argument, your proof, and the ways you can support your argument that make you right. These are the things that you should look for, not only in an instructor, but in a leader. You gotta have somebody that you can trust, that knows what they're talking about. So this video is my attempt to convey that to you. I would like you to be the judge as to whether or not this is true or not. And if you believe that I am someone who can be trusted, please hit the like button to let me know, and continue to tune in to the Cinci Martial Arts YouTube channel, as well as possibly signing up at our main studio. We do offer classes every week. But I'm not here to plug, I'm here to discuss. Now, I know I started this by saying don't hold up all your papers, but I do want to introduce myself with them. I will then convey where they came from. So, I'll start with my college experience. Now, this by no means that you should listen. This just shows that I have a piece of paper. So, we'll start off with the University of Cincinnati. There, I earned both a degree in education and in psychology. Now, these were earned over several years. I had to work full-time to put myself through college, but I will discuss these soon. Next is a certification through Pro Martial Arts. There, I was a head instructor for their studios, studio director, as well as their anti-bullying armor instructor. Finally is my Shorin-Ryu certification. This I earned through American Strength under Shihan Reuben James, and essentially says that, yeah, I'm a black belt in Shorin-Ryu. But again, I don't want you to put too much weight on these. Something that we all learned in martial arts, whether you're a yellow belt just starting off and you just took one test, or you're a black belt with 40 years of experience, that belt does not define you. Your belt is not proof that you know anything of what you're talking about. You do. You define the belt. This is something that is universally true. And we've all been there. We've all seen schools that have junk instructors and people that are just talking for the sake of talking. Maybe they did read a book, but they're just regurgitating information. There are plenty of schools out there that are McDojos, belt factories, that simply you pay them a fee and they get a belt. Because of this, I want you to take a moment, if you will, listen to my story, and determine if you find any of these papers credible before putting any weight into them. I'd like to start chronologically. At the very beginning, how I got into the martial arts, how I started in karate. I was a little kid when I started, 6 years old, first grade. And I was painfully shy. I didn't really have a voice. I didn't like to speak. Couldn't really talk to my own family, oddly enough. And my parents were concerned. They wanted to find something for me to do that would build my confidence, build my self-esteem. Luckily, I was really into Ninja Turtles. I loved the Ninja Turtles. I loved Power Rangers. I loved Dragon Ball Z. I would go out in the backyard and try and go Super Saiyan when I was by myself because, again, the shy. And guilty pleasure, I liked Sailor Moon. Don't judge me. It was a good show. I liked it. But they all had martial arts as their theme. Sailor Moon maybe a little less so. But it was inspiring to me to see these turtles, these outcasts, being able to accomplish these amazing things. Having the Power Rangers, the Blue Ranger, Billy, was my idol as a kid. He was the goofy one. He was the nerd, but he could kick some butt. And he learned how to stand up for himself. These things were inspiring to me. So when my parents saw that, and they noticed there was an after-school program, they signed me up. And I was excited. I wasn't one for team sports, getting out and playing football or baseball. That meant people. And that was terrifying. I didn't like it. But the karate I did, because I didn't have to worry about other people. I just had to worry about me. And I took to it like a fish in water. I loved it. After about a year of doing that program, I transferred to their main campus. Because of course we have summer break. Can't really do karate if you're not in school. So I transferred to their main campus, American Strength, so I could continue to learn through the summer and onward moving forward. There I met my master, Shihan Reuben James. I'd spend nearly the next 20 years under his tutelage, studying Shorin-ryu, building my ranks, and eventually achieving my black belt. After about 10 years of learning and climbing the ranks, I began coaching. And I started tutoring underneath Master James, helping him conduct classes and taking small groups of my own. Eventually, I was proficient enough for him to trust me with our preschool program, or his preschool program, I should say, the Little Ninjas. There I traveled around the East Cincinnati area, visiting different preschools and conducting really the same sort of program that I got started in when I was 6 years old. Teaching basic fundamentals to young preschool, early school age children. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot and it helped me view karate in a different way, how the techniques were built. And it continues. Even today, I'm still doing the same thing and I still learn new things about karate, about martial arts in a broader sense. After the Little Ninjas, I took over some of the responsibilities in the main campus. Shihan Reuben had to take some personal time, and I took over in his stead and started running a school for a few years. After doing this for a couple of years and learning from that, he came back in, and I got an offer from another local school. And this was a unique offer because while I would be able to head my own programs, it wouldn't be strictly Shorin-ryu. Now, let me be straight. Shorin-ryu is an excellent system. It's what makes up my current system at Cinci Martial Arts. All of our students learn the Shorin-ryu, Matsubayashi Shorin-ryu from Shoshin Nagamine as the baseline of their curriculum. But something I found that was lacking in my experience was effective grappling and sportsmanlike kicks and actions. Shorin-ryu is a beautifully done combative system. What I've found in my years since being with American Strength is there's much more out there. There's performance martial arts, there's combative martial arts, there's a lot. And this opportunity to leave American Strength allowed me exposure to these other systems on a regular basis that I could learn and develop and grow. So, I had words with Shihan James, and we parted ways. I wish him the best in the world. I learned so much from Shihan James, if you are able to see this, I owe you the world. And thank you very much for spending your time with me. But moving on, I did go to Pro Martial Arts, where I was given the responsibility of heading the studio from an instruction standpoint. So I was their head instructor. I took time, was sent out to Philadelphia to spend a few weeks with their grandmasters, where I received both private and group instruction on their system, their methodologies, their forms, techniques, and associated things that you would need to run a school. After which I returned home and trained my own set of black belts that were hired on for the new Pro Martial Arts in Loveland. These men and women that I met came from a wide range of backgrounds. Everything from Kung Fu to Jiu-Jitsu to Kali to just everything out there. Well, probably not everything. I mean, it wasn't hundreds of black belts, but you get the idea. It was a lot of exposure. And I got to work with these fantastic men and women every week for 5 years. I learned so much on what else is out there and how I can incorporate that into my learnings with Shorin-ryu. In turn, they took what I gave to them and incorporated that into their systems. Sort of the whole premise of the channel here, if you're finding. Now, during my time at Pro Martial Arts, as I said, I met these wonderful people, and over time, I was able to grow the programs, expand out, and start a preschool program of my own called Little Masters. Or not, sorry, Little Masters is Cinci's. Little Rhinos, that's what it was. It's been a minute. And taught instructors how to run this and sort of acted as an overseer. So I could manage different instructors and what classes they could go to, how they would interact with students, and how to teach them how to teach. So after this and the closure of Pro Martial Arts, I opened Cinci Martial Arts. Now, Pro Martial Arts did close because of the owner. The owner decided to reinvest into other interests, and I hold her no ill will for that. The owner was not a martial artist herself, but instead wanted to give back to the community in some way. She found another way to do that. That was a bit more profitable, as any of you who run martial arts studios yourself can attest. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. And it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy to do. It's a passion job. But the owner at PMA decided to close down so she could reallocate her funds elsewhere. And she's doing well, I'm happy to say. This, though, gave me the opportunity to open up Cinci Martial Arts and this YouTube channel. But this is a little bit on my martial arts journey. Let's backpedal a little bit. Talk about the education, the formal education. I went to the Milford Senior High School, located in Milford, Ohio, where I graduated in 2006 and graduated well. After this, I took a little time to discover myself. I was working full-time even in high school and decided to pursue managerial experience. And I was around 17, 18 years old and wanted to know what it's like to have more responsibility. Now, I had just started coaching, mind you, with American Strength. So I'd been coaching for about 2-3 years at the time and had a little bit of responsibility, but wanted to learn how to more effectively wield the powers that I had. So at the jobs that I was in, I applied for management training, lead training. This way I could figure out how to work with people, how to manage people. After doing this for a little while and making a little bit more money, I enrolled into college. My family does not come from money. I have several siblings. I'm the middle of 5, and I am a child of divorce. So money has always been an issue for my family, even growing up. I had to spend a lot of time even putting myself through the martial arts training. doing odd jobs, working part-time, mowing grass when I was 10 years old so that I could afford the tuition. College was no different. So I worked full-time, I went to school full-time, and I trained. I continued the karate. My 20s were a busy set of years. But when I was there, I first enrolled into psychology. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I was fairly certain that I wouldn't be able to become a doctor. I didn't have the time or money to do that. But I knew that I wanted to do something. I loved psychology, the study of the human mind, why we make the decisions we do, why we have the behaviors that we have. This is something that just fascinates me. And so, my first courses in college, psychology. Let's look at the brain, see how it works. After doing that for a little over a year and taking on the additional responsibilities in coaching through American Strength and the Little Ninjas program, I found that I had a real knack, a real passion for teaching. Now, for many of the other coaches out there, you'll know what I'm talking about here. It's the light bulb moment. If there's anything in the world that inspires me and motivates me to do what I'm doing, it's the light bulb moment. Now, for those of you who may not understand, the light bulb moment is that moment when you're working with a student where they're struggling. They're working so hard and they're just not getting it, and they keep pushing. It's like banging your head up against a wall over and over. It's just not happening. And then they got it. They pull off the technique. They jump over that hurdle. They break the board. And then they do it again. And then again and again. And suddenly, it just happens. That light bulb moment is beautiful. And to be a coach, to be a teacher, and know that you're the one who facilitated that, there's no feeling like it. I honestly can't put it into any sort of better words than this. Whether it be a lack of vocabulary or just the ethereal nature of the idea. It's a magical thing. But this is why I changed my degree. Changed my focus to education. I decided I want to be a school teacher. I'm going to keep the karate program going. Maybe I'll start my own after-school program. I'll just work in the gym with the kids that are in my home school. But I'm going to be a teacher. I want to keep this going. I want to make it a career. So I took the next couple of years working, again, full-time, going to college, and it took me about a little over 3 years to finally get my associate's degree in education. Again, I had to take classes as I was able, but I got it. And after I got it, I found, after speaking with the counselor, I was awfully close to my psych degree. So I looked at my transcripts and found that a lot of the classes I took in education overlapped and credited to the earlier psych. So I took 1 extra year, finished out the psych degree, and now I have 2. Now, obviously I'm not a school teacher. Life takes us in very strange directions, and sometimes it's not entirely within our control. What I found was I wasn't able to continue going to college, putting myself through college the way I was. I had some other responsibilities. I lacked the finances and the time to do so. Now, that's not to say I'm not ever going to go back. I do hope to. I want to go back and continue that education. Maybe get another degree, push one of these up to the next level. It's on my mind and something I definitely want to do. But I could take what I had. The understanding in psychology and approaches, the way we think and why we think. The things I learned through education, how to approach students, how to write a lesson plan, how to connect with someone who's looking up to you, and relay a message. These are things that I incorporate into my classes at Cinci Martial Arts. These are things that I'll be presenting in the videos through YouTube, the way I present technique drills and things of that sort, as well as, of course, mentioning some of these specific educational tools for your use. But these all come into play with Cinci Martial Arts. After college, after I had finished with psych and education, I doubled down on my efforts at Pro Martial Arts, and we saw growth. At one point, we were over 60 students strong in the studio, and this isn't counting the preschool programs that I had in outreach. So, for all intents and purposes, it was successful, it was growing, it was developing. And then the doors closed, and life got real. The owner shut down, found other interests, and moved away. It was unexpected, and it was a sad moment. But, as with all things, when a door closes, a window opens. When one opportunity ends, another presents itself. And I found myself in a very unique position where I had students that were looking to learn. I had experience on how to run, manage, and teach in a business, and a lot of free time. So I took time in early 2018, for the month of January. I went without a salary, without any pay, and built the groundwork for Cinci Martial Arts. Met with lawyers, met with tax professionals on how to properly start up the business, and opened our doors on February 1st. A lot of my old students from PMA followed me, which I am eternally grateful for. Without them, without you, if you're watching this, Cinci Martial Arts would not be a thing. It could not exist without the students, without the support of everyone out there. So I am eternally grateful for you to give me this opportunity. Now, with Cinci Martial Arts, we've had a lot of growth over the past several months since we first opened. Starting up this YouTube channel about a month ago was one of many steps that I had taken. We are live on our own website at cincimartialarts.com. That is Cinci with an I. We have Facebook, also Cinci Martial Arts, facebook.com/Cinci Martial Arts. We are on Instagram /Cinci Martial Arts. And we have an email system. If you ever like to sign up, we can send you notifications and information about our classes and ongoings. But the real bread and butter, the big thing that was built were the classes. We have a curriculum that is based on the Shorin-ryu methodologies, augmented with what I learned through my mixed martial arts training. So a student at Cinci Martial Arts will get not just a Shorin-ryu black belt, but exposure to these other systems and ideas. It's a wonderful thing. You know, Karate Do is about living life. The Do literally is a way. It is a lifestyle. It's a philosophical approach to the issues that you have. It's the way you think. It's the way you act. It's the way you are. And this is how I want my students to live their lives, is in the martial way. Now, of course, everyone's journey is different. If you're coming hoping to learn self-defense because you have a bully, or you have someone who seems threatening to you, or maybe you're just scared of walking by yourself at night, self-defense is a crucial part of what we do as well. And you'll learn that. But if you're coming to learn self-discipline, confidence, build self-esteem, we can help you with that too. I hope that through everything that I've said, through walking through my journey, you can trust the words that I have. You can trust the lessons that I give. Now, I will always do my absolute best to explain what's happening, why it's happening, and the reason for you to listen. But it is always, always, as with all things in life, up to you. You will decide where you go. As an instructor, as a coach, all we can do is show a path. There are many ways up the mountain. I know a couple. So, if you liked the video, please hit the like button. Show your support. Let me know that this may have connected to you in some way. If you'd like, please check in the description below for a link to our first welcome video. There you'll see a little synopsis, much shorter video, on what the YouTube channel is all about. And if you have any questions, feel free to write a comment. I get to them as often as I'm able, respond to as many as I can. Until next time, this was Mr. Cisco with Cinci Martial Arts, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.